I didn't have a clue at all of how a man should live, and I didn't understand one whit the cost I'd have to give. I was in full flight from reality, and I ran from all my problems, and I never gave a single thought of how I might have solved them. I was simply lazy, and it's easier to drink. Who wants to take a look at self, requiring them to think? Everything I tried my hand at, I never finished, but I failed. And then once again, I'd find myself inside somebody's jail.
My name is Rafael, last name Herman. I have two boys. Johnny, 7 years old, Damien, 13. I'm here incarcerated for a DUI felony. Someone was in an accident, someone passed away. I'm facing life in prison. One mistake, in the blink of an eye. I had to see my children grow through photos when I've been in their life since they've been born. Last 2 years, I've woken up in a deep sweat, seeing my son, like in my arms, like he had passed away. I'm sobbing, I'm crying, and I wake up and I look around to see if anyone heard me. Everyone's still just walking around and watching TV. This is my life.
I grew up on the south side of Chicago in the 80s, and it was a terrible situation for me. My dad took me from my mother when I was born, and my grandmother raised me, his mom. And she did the best she could. She instilled quality values in me. She's a Christian woman. My dad, on the other hand, was a gangster in the streets. Dad was trying to bring about that man in me in the way that he knew how. He would beat me relentlessly. I'm torn between the Christian values that my grandmother's trying to teach me and this gangster ethic that my dad was trying to teach me. And it was just a bad recipe. We have a distorted perception of what love is and the people that we're supposed to love. We oftentimes neglect those for the superficial love that we find in the streets and in the things that seem appealing to us. And as misguided youth who are easily influenced, we run straight to those things that don't love us, and with reckless abandon.
October 17th, 2012, 20 police officers show up to my house with a warrant. Mr. Hashke, you need to put your hands behind your back. And I was baffled, because I've always equated drug addiction to incarceration. You eliminate the drugs, there's no more incarceration. I'm charged with the biggest real estate fraud case in the country. This is a disaster. I have a family, I have children, a lot of us have grandchildren. There's 150 people in this courtroom, are you kidding me? And in the arraignment, they said Mr. Hashke's looking at a 25 to life sentence.
I've been incarcerated more times than I can count. You don't want to be like me. I'm 53 years old, and I've spent over 20 years of my life in prison. I've spent over 30 years of my life being angry at people and blaming other people for the mistakes that I made, for the decisions that I made. And through this whole time, this 30 years that I've spent in that state, I've lost. I've lost my youth, I've lost an eye, I've lost the respect of others, I've lost my self-respect, I've lost my confidence. But today I found all those things back once again to my higher power, God and Jesus Christ, because he lets me know that all of those things that I thought were deceptions, they were lies from the adversary.
There's a saying, a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wiser learns from others. And I'm the example.
Children out there thinking that it's cool to get high and run with gangs and run around with guns, and I have to be a part of the movement that helps deter some of those kids from going this route.
Spent a lot of years in jail in my youth. I remember sitting in a jail cell I can still recite to you the prayer I prayed to God. And I said it just like this. I said, God, if you give me one more opportunity, I won't be judgmental to a rat, to a punk, to a child molester, to a crip, a blood, a buster, or a Southsider. I said it in just like that. I told the God of heaven. Those are the words I actually used. You don't want to be, listen to me, you don't want to be my age, almost 50 years old, and just now have to get your life back together. You know, what's wrong with being a good dude? What's wrong with that? Be a good guy. It's not about how many women you sleep with or how much money you got in your pockets. Believe me, I've made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, and I've been everywhere between it. That's irrelevant. What you need to do is make your life, make an honest dedication to Jesus Christ. Not only sorry for what you've done, but sorry that you've sinned against heaven.
Jesus Christ has gotten me through this whole journey. If it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't have the hope, the belief, and the understanding of where I am today. It puts me at peace.
Every program here at South is God-centered. We got Toomey, we got the Merit program, we got the NAAA programs, and we are the leaders at this facility. God is in this place, and there are people here, there are deputies here that are willing and wanting to see us make a difference. You know, I've learned to take responsibility, and others are looking at me as a leader. Like I've been a leader on the streets for all the wrong reasons. And now I have an opportunity to be a leader for all the right reasons.
You know, a lot of individuals, they tell me, you know, for someone looking at the type of time that you have, you seem to be walking around here with a smile, not moping around. You know, and I thank God for that. For those out there, learn from my mistake. It's not worth it. Be responsible. For me not being responsible, I'm losing my life. But because of God, I have eternal life.
But then I caught a news flash to all who've been abused. Submit your minds unto the Lord that they might be renewed. And then I prayed and read and prayed and tried to go to sleep. But conviction came upon my heart, encouraging me to weep. First came tears of sorrow, and then came tears of joy, a new happiness I felt inside from seeing Satan's ploy. You see, it had been revealed to me that his plan is to deceive us, and it hit me like a ton of bricks how bad I needed Jesus. Now my life is changing by walking in the light. Constantly, I don't do what's wrong, but I try to do what's right. Life's not always easy though. But now I have direction. And then every night when I lay down, in Christ I have perfection. I have to be a doer now. I can't be a hearer only. So I thank God for these words of truth, and that's my testimony.